So prior to me watching the Odyssey, I was fully prepared to come up on here and say, "Hey, listen, the movie's a good movie. It has a lot of good things going for it. Just the acting choices can be the problem here. But other than that, the movie's good." Wrong, fucking wrong. Christopher Nolan sold on this movie. I'm sorry to say it. I know you see some people saying, "Wow, this movie's great." I don't see it that way. Yes, the plot of the story was there. But how long it took to get there, the amount of missed opportunity, the amount of time that's just not going on, and how boring it feels, it is unbelievable. The Odyssey is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. I'm not making this up. I almost fell asleep. I really couldn't wait for it to be finished. And to tell you this right now, I'm a big fan of Greek mythology. I'm a big fan of Roman mythology. I love all those type of movies back in the day. You know, like the Gladiators, the 300s, the Troy, all those type of movies. I was a big fan of them. So I was hyped to see this new movie coming out because seeing a lot of A-lister actors in it, I'm thinking to myself, man, they must all have a big scene or something, and it's going to lead up to something great. No, no, no. Argamedov is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. People keep talking about, oh, he's just aura farming. He's just aura farming. He's on the screen for a total of probably 3 minutes, right? And that motherfucker does not swing one sword once. Not one time. Not one time. Yes, it does look cool when they're doing the invasion of Troy on the horse. When they do show those scenes, they are very cool. They do look very menacing. It does look very shot perfectly well. I'm not going to lie about that. The scene when the gates are open and Argamedov is just standing there, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. But the overall standing of the movie was so boring, was so whack. It felt like it was just here to be there. People are saying, "Oh, Christopher Nolan did his big one." In what aspect? Because this story sucked. Yes, the story it had a plot. I'm not going to say it didn't. But how long it took, and because let's be honest, the plot is very easy to understand. The plot is basically that they defied the gods by doing that trick. They brought that horse in there, what is supposed to be like a peace offering gift, basically breaking the whole rules of how it worked back in the day, I guess, quote unquote. So that's what that whole thing is. Them doing that, then they had to serve the consequences and everything like that. I was fine with that. But then another problem I had. The actors, especially Helen. Helen, I'm sorry, I just can't get behind her. And she's in every movie where there's a twin. Every time there's a black role and there needs to be a twin, she's always in it. She was in that last movie that was part of that little trilogy. I'm sick of her. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you're not fighting over a country for her. You're just not. So like for her to be doing, they should have switched Zendaya with her. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to have Athena be black, sure, no problem. But Zendaya would make more sense for them to be fighting over than her. Just honestly, I just did not like that. And then the way Argamedov died, he's supposed to die in the shower, in the bath. He just died in the bed by his lover. And that's a whole nother thing. I guess that he was like so like in his head about winning that he wouldn't expect that to happen. But if you read the novel of everything, that doesn't make sense as a whole because he knew that she had a whole lover and that he just thought when he gets back, she's just gonna be fall right in place. Yeah, you sacrificed our daughter, but there's nothing to worry about. I just thought that was a whole problem in itself. Yeah, I get it. You could probably play that a little bit better in the script, but hey, man, Argamanov was whack. He just looked cool. And then let's go to the main act, the main fucking cast member, Odysseus. I don't know. I could not get behind him. I just can't. Maybe it's because of the one in Troy, how he spoke, how he went about it was more smoother than this one. I just could not get behind him. No matter how much the movie kept going forward and kept going forward and kept moving forward, I just was never a fan of the movie. I'm sorry. I could not get behind it because it felt so boring and it felt like they were throwing in those scenes where they're fighting against giants, where they're fighting against the one-eyed monster, and they're fighting against all these other pieces. They were throwing in those scenes that were supposed to be big in the novel, but they were so short in time of movie. Like, it's like, yeah, those scenes are cool when they're there, but when they're not there, other than that, the movie's so boring, it's so slow paced, and it feels like a waste of time. I could never get those 3 hours back. You're always gonna get some people who say, wow, this movie is great. This movie is okay at best. I said the same thing about the Batman movie, that it felt a little longer. If that movie felt longer, this movie's hell. People keep saying Robert Pattinson, this is like one of Robert Pattinson's best movies ever. They always say this about every movie he's in, and not for nothing. he was good, but he wasn't doing anything at the end of the movie. He didn't really. He's another one like where we keep hearing all these cool things and all these cool moments that they could possibly pull off, but they don't ever show them. Oh yeah, Ergomenov, you gotta fear him because what he done to his daughter, what he could do to us. Then he just gets killed in seconds. So it's basically trying to tell me like, well, you can easily kill this man if he's doing if he lets you get this close. He obviously thinks you're not gonna kill him, just like his wife. He thought his wife would never do that, even though he knew his wife was cheating on him. These are the fucking logics that are just not making sense to me. I get where you're trying to say this is back in Egypt and they thought they're all powerful and that no one would dare try something like this. If that's the case, what he was thinking with her, why would anybody else be in fear of thinking it for them? If he thinks that, well, you're not gonna try me. I'm the invincible Armageddon, whatever his fucking name is. Why would he? Why would he? Why would he think that some of his soldiers are gonna try him? He won't. But they just never did that. Again, they had cool scenes, but then one scene to me, which was weird, was how much they actually did promote Elliot Page's character in it. I thought her character, his character, whatever, was just a one-off, quick little thing in the beginning. No, this person actually has more meaning to the ending. Odysseus remembers Elliot. Oh my God, this was the person that actually tried to hop in the war and cared about like you doing this for the others. He was the one that did all this, blah 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up. Come on, let's be realistic here. This is why people don't like the movie to begin with, but then it's fucking granted because of stupid choices like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, so this was very disappointing to me. The cinematography of it all wasn't too bad, but here's my biggest issue as well. His fighting scenes are terrible. His fighting scenes are awful. Because as cool as Odyssey doing that little cool arrow pointer at the end, which was fire, I'm not gonna lie. Like I told you, there's cool scenes, just a long, strung out movie. As cool as that scene was, when he starts fighting, the choreography reminded me of The Dark Knight. Whereas, yes, we know that they're supposed to be like these great warriors that can withstand so much punishment and can withstand so much like people at once and take them all out. Just for us to see him fight, and it does not look like that. He's like swinging around, getting caught. Like the punches don't look like they're really connecting like that. It was just a weird looking look. And then at the end, I guess it was just weird. There's a part where you think somebody dies, but they don't die. It's just like that was the most anticlimactic ending I've ever fucking seen in my life. I'm not a fan. I'm never watching that Odyssey. If there's an Odyssey 2 or there's something like bullshit like that, I would never watch it. Ever. Especially if those actors are back in there. Terrible, terrible fucking choices. No lie. Because those actors, no matter what, it does cause, like, how can I say, it's like a sense of immersion. You're not really into the movie as much because they low-key don't fit. You got Jackie Chan in there in Greek mythology. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We got Jackie Chan. We got a 7-Eleven worker as one of the main fucking soldiers. Like, come on, let's be real. This movie drop the ball big time, but then again, this is the new generation of Hollywood. We need this to happen, I guess, and show inclusivity and to say, yo, we're pushing a message. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I am not a fan. I am not a fan. My theaters was packed. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it wasn't. It's gonna do pretty good in the box office because Christopher Nolan's behind it. But I'm gonna be straight up with you. Don't waste your time. Go watch something else. If you're really a big fan of like war and action, I would just say go watch 300. Even I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder. I go say watch that. Go watch Gladiator. Those get to the point quick, and the message is pretty simple. I love those films. I love Troy too. Even though Troy wasn't really historically accurate, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm starting to like the realism of it all versus the bullshit that I just witnessed in theaters. Honestly. And I never make a review this quick, and I make a review within the next day. And never have I done it this quick. But this movie pissed me off. Really. Because I'm such a huge fan of stuff like that. And this movie was a downhill spiral. It was a letdown. Trust me, save your money, don't waste your time. Because it's 3 hours you're never going to get back. Ever! I fucking hate myself for it. But all right, guys, have a good one, man. Stay blessed, and I'm going to keep coming up with a new one. Hopefully Spider-Man No Brand New Day doesn't pull no tricks like this. I don't think it would. The one I'm concerned about, to be honest with you, is Doomsday. Doomsday looks kind of all over the place, and we'll talk about that on another day. See you guys. Peace.